Hey everyone, I'm Spencer Campbell, creator of DUSK, and in this video I'll be going over everything you need to know about the game, including information about the setting and an overview of how to play the game. If you want to skip straight to the rules explanation, there's a timestamp in the description below that will take you right to it. DUSK takes place in the Novaverse, the setting of the Nova TTRPG, and all of its related games. You don't need to have played Nova to play DUSK, but this brief setting explanation will help you dive into the game. A few hundred years ago, the planet Oberon underwent the Nova event, in which the sun showed signs of dying. The people of Oberon built bunkers under the surface, while the sun in the sky above seemingly exploded, disappearing from view, and raining down small pieces of itself onto the planet's surface. After many years, humanity returned to the surface to find it devastated. The world had changed, a warped version of what it had been before. But there were small pockets of salvation, in the form of the sun shards scattered across the planet. These shards could be captured, providing nearly limitless light, warmth, and power to those who could wield it. Humanity rebuilt, leaping forward technologically thanks to the sun shards. Powerful mechs known as sparks were built to protect these new settlements. But the world outside the cities, known as the Dusk, is vast, and the sparks are few in number. And so the shards were created. Sun tech was developed to be used by those who would explore the Dusk, recover lost pieces of the world before the Nova, and fight back the horrors that lurk beyond the sun's light. You are those shards, striking out into the Dusk. However, the Dusk does not want you there. Good luck. Ready to start playing Dusk? Let's go over how the game is played. Dusk is a diceless TTRPG. It uses the Lumen 2.0 system. That means you're not going to be rolling any dice to see how your characters act in the world. Instead, you're going to be using resource management, as you make tough decisions on when to spend the valuable resources of your shards while out on missions in the Dusk. It requires one player to take on the role of the Game Master, or GM, and the others to play as the shards. Before we talk about the shards, let's cover the basic rules and that resource management I just mentioned, and then we'll introduce the ideas of the approaches of the shards. Approaches are descriptors for how your character attempts actions in the game. There are no specific skill lists that describe what your shards can do. Instead, there are three approaches: Sun, Moon, and Shade. Sun actions are powerful actions. They use strength or endurance, or are highly emotional. Smashing through a barrier, holding on for dear life, or scaring an enemy into surrender all are using Sun. Moon actions are fast and reactive, when quick thinking and speed are of the essence. So hitting the timing on a shot, or dodging away from an incoming danger, or just quick thinking and quickly convincing somebody to help you out are all part of Moon. Finally, Shade actions are precise and methodical, using a practiced touch, lining up the perfect shot, cracking the code to a security system, or using logical reasoning. All are in the realm of using Shade. The approach's resource is going to handle most of your gameplay in Dusk. There will be times, however, when a fight breaks out. This is when combat begins. In these instances, players and the GM will take turns until the fight is over. The players may choose the order they want to act. During their turn, a shard can move to a location and take an action. Most actions are either using an approach, a weapon, or another piece of sun tech, which I'll cover in a little bit. Distances in Dusk are abstracted out. Characters are either within melee distance or range distance of one another. Most of the time, characters can move from one to the other on their turn, though there may be instances where the distances are especially far, or a character is in a location that cannot be reached. Whenever a shard attacks an enemy, they will kill it. That's how powerful Sun Tech is. However, depending on the rules module you're using, there may be a little bit more to it than that. After each shard's turn, the GM will activate an enemy, moving them and giving them an action as well. Enemy actions can be anything, from dealing damage to the shards, subtracting it away from their health, or creating odd complications to the battlefield. A GM should be looking for ways to challenge the shards rather than wiping them out. If, during a fight, a shard should fall to 0 health, they are dying. They will be permanently killed if hit by another source of damage. Before that happens, shards can be revived to full health by an ally, although that ally must reduce their cell by 1 for the remainder of the mission. More on how cell works shortly. Once a fight is over, the shards can harvest health from the fallen enemies. 1 point of health can be recovered for each killed enemy, split between the shards however they see fit. Finally, let's talk about Cell and Sun Tech. Each shard is equipped with a list of equipment called Sun Tech, and you can see some examples on the screen right now. You're going to rely on these during your missions. A shard can carry Sun Tech up to their Cell value, which is a value that's set during character creation. Sun Tech generally just works when it's used, though there may be times where activating it may require the use of an approach, especially when using weapons. Work together as a table to decide when Sun Tech can be used freely and when there is some sort of risk involved. And those are the core rules. Dusk is a highly modular game, however, and there are optional rules modules that you can plug in to create your ideal version of the game. Check out the Dusk site to see which modules have been released so far. Ready to create your shards and get playing? Character creation is quick and easy. Each shard starts with a value of 1 in the 3 approaches: Sun, Moon, and Shade. They can then spend 4 points to increase them as they see fit. Next, each shard starts with health and cell values of 1. They can spend 6 points as they see fit to increase them. Increasing health will make you sturdier, but able to carry less Sun Tech. Increasing cell gives you Sun Tech flexibility, but vulnerable to damage. The choice is yours. And that's it, you've made your shard. Before your mission, choose Sun Tech in value up to your cell and get out there into the dusk. Should you succeed on your mission, your shard will improve. You can choose to increase any of your approaches by 1, up to a maximum of 5, or increase your health or cell by 1. There are no limits to your health or your cell. You now know everything you need to get started playing Dusk. Remember, Dusk is a modular game with a very light framework for you to add rules to fit your desires. You can play with all the extras or none at all, whatever works best for you and your table. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like it and consider subscribing to my channel for more videos on Nova, including lore deep dives and also coverage of my other games. Good luck out there, shards.